This is National Native News. I'm Antonia Gonzalez. The Little Shell tribe of Chippewa Indians in Montana received federal recognition in December. The tribe does not have a land base or a healthcare facility. But as Sophia Stewart-Rossi reports, leaders have plans for a health center.
After filling out a nationwide application from the Department of Treasury, the Little Shell tribe of Chippewa Indians received $25 million from the CARES Act to address the impacts of COVID-19. Via Zoom, Chairman Gerald Gray of the Little Shell tribe expresses they're starting from ground zero.
We were really excited because, people need to understand that we have nothing in terms of healthcare, any kind of clinic, nothing to offer our membership.
As of now, the federal award needs to be spent by December 30th, which is 7 months away. With such a short turnaround, the Little Shell tribe will spend it with oversight from tribal attorneys and an outside certified public accountant. Following the award guidelines, the tribe is planning to use the money to purchase or build an Indian Health Services urgent health care facility in the Great Falls, Montana area with a focus in telemedicine.
That's very important for us because our population's spread out, not only in Montana, but across the United States.
With a longer turnaround, the Little Shell tribe will look into private investors to build a hospital in Great Falls, Montana. I'm Sophia Stewart-Rossi.
Announcement of a major change in the access route to the proposed Pebble Mine in the Bristol Bay region of Alaska has been met with resistance from tribal groups and other opponents. According to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the least environmentally damaging access to the mine site is a road along the northern end of Lake Iliamna. Previous plans called for a route that included crossing the lake by ferry. The Igiugig Village Council rejected the route. In a statement said the Army Corps continues to disregard village concerns and has failed in the trust responsibility to adequately consult with the tribe. Bristol Bay Native Corporation said the route change has not been vetted by the public and cooperating agencies. The Army Corps is expected to release its final environmental impact statement for the proposed copper, gold, and molybdenum mine as early as next month. Canada's Indigenous Services Minister says ceremonies will be allowed to continue amid COVID-19 restrictions. As Dan Karpenchuk reports, the decision puts Ottawa at odds with at least one province.
Concerns were first raised about Indigenous ceremonies after Royal Canadian Mounted Police were deployed to a First Nation in Saskatchewan, where a Sundance ceremony was being held. RCMP say they received at least 2 reports of large public gatherings at First Nations in the province. But organizers at one Saskatchewan event said there were 35 people in attendance, and all were following safety protocols set by the Chief and Council, including social distancing. In Ottawa, Indigenous Services Minister Mark Miller said historical federal bans on Indigenous ceremonies and potlatches were put in place in the late 1880s and lasted until the 1950s, and he called that banning of sacred ceremonies a dark stain on Canada's history.
I want to ensure everyone listening that even in the face of a historic pandemic, Canada must not and will not prohibit these important practices. Any decision to cancel or postpone these events is a decision that is solely at the discretion of the community's leadership.
At the same time, Miller said it's important to heed the public health measures that are in place to slow the spread of COVID-19. Regulations by the province of Saskatchewan limit gatherings to 10 people, and the province's Premier Scott Moe says no one should be exempt from these health orders because no one is exempt from the virus. For National Native News, I'm Dan Karpenchuk.
And I'm Antonia Gonzalez.
National Native News is produced by Koahnic Broadcast Corporation with funding by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Hey, Ivan. Good to see ya.
You too. What brings you here?
I'm informing people about the 2020 census.
The census? Yeah, everyone knows about that.
They don't. They really don't. But I do. And when we participate, it helps determine funding. For things like grants and programs in our communities.
Cool, that's good to know.
The census is for all American Indians and Alaska Natives. Shape our future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Native Voice One, the Native American Radio Network.